What's up? This is Ryan with One Board Family and
Phil back again.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't done like one of these duo review preview type things in a year.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun when we do get to it.
Absolutely.
So what we're doing today is we're talking about Sweet Lands. This game is from Uchibacoya Games. This is I was actually very excited when they reached out to us and said, hey, would you like to take a look at this game? It's currently on Kickstarter. I know we're not getting to preview it before the launch. Usually we require to have it before the launch day. But I was so enthralled with what this game was doing and how cute it was versus like the heavy Euro style that I had to check it out. So we have just finished, this table is a mess, right?
Yes.
And so the entire table is taken up. We finished this game just a short while ago, and we wanted to jump right on video and talk about our experience because there's a lot to like in this game, and instead of writing an article for this as a preview, we wanted to tell you our game experience.
Yeah, let's jump right on into it.
That's right. Yeah. So, Phil, tell me about like just some of the things that you experienced. The premise of the game, basically like the narrative, is that you are trying to become the next successor to this beautiful candy kingdom. You've got sweets and sugary treats that you're developing. So you're trying to be efficient with the economy and also build out your village. So everybody is given a map board. Why don't you tell us a little about that?
Business.
Yeah, tell us a little about the map.
So we've got a map, and it's broken into 4 different types of terrain. You've got some fields, you've got some forests, some mines, and some water. Each one is going to help you generate different resources or advance along one of many tracks. If you like games with multiple tracks to manipulate, oh boy, Sweet Lands is something for you. Tracks on tracks. One track is 2 tracks in one. It's amazing. Yeah. But honestly, the boards themselves, when I introduced this to one of my colleagues, just like, oh yeah, I found this Kickstarter, we're going to check it out. They said, oh my goodness, how many boards do you need? And I said, oh, welcome to Euro. So we have various terrains. The terrain is used to build out your kingdom. You'll be manipulating those terrains with different tiles and then connecting them with roads so that you can actually flip them to start generating resources. So if you like building those engines, once again, here we go. Let's set up a nice tableau. Let's go through and get those spaces where you can redeem bonuses and benefits and see what we can do. And I will tell you, my first time through, it was kind of tough.
Yeah.
It was kind of tough because it's a lot. But I will say that compared to some other games I've played, I think it's actually pretty accessible.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're given a very limited, you've got just a handful of actions that you can do, which is great because it's not overwhelming. It really comes down to what is the best action at the time. I think that's where I struggled a little bit was I would start going up on one track and then I'm like, well, I'm neglecting this other area of expertise that I could be working on. Why don't I go up on that track? Yeah. And I think that is where, like, the tough part about Sweet Lands lies, is knowing which tracks are the most efficient to, you've got these really cool milk houses right here. These milk houses are actually blocking a carriage that is moving along, getting you bonuses as it moves through this track. And there's 3 different scoring. So that's what's interesting. We've seen it in things like Arc Nova, where you've got one scoring token here, another scoring token back here, and then they're eventually going to cross. These are 3 unique scoring criteria that are all starting at one end and building and moving forward. Yeah. And so you have to focus on all of them a little bit, but at what ratio?
Yeah, and that is the challenge that both of us kind of grappled with on that playthrough. And then once we got to, I think, our 4th round, which is nearing the end of the game, we kind of said, oh, right, points.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, we're expanding our boards, we're taking advantage of all of the different actions that we can take.
Yeah.
The economy of actions is really interesting to me. I haven't really gone through with this one so much, where you have a hand of cards, you have various tokens and resources which would be used for action selection.
Yeah.
Every action you select out of this community pool of action tokens still costs you a card from your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're trying to manage your hand size, but then your hand is also how you generate more resources and how you lead to automation. That's right.
Yeah.
Automation also features quite well in this game. You choose who you're going to employ or what automation you're going to add to your tableau. And each time you hit an automation trigger, that terrain, that forest, that mine, that field, it's going to trigger whatever automated actions you place under there. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It made me want to play again to see how I can automate differently.
Yeah, yeah. I think you mentioned the fourth round. So in that fourth round, the game takes place over 5 rounds. Mm-hmm. And so in that fourth round, I felt like I had a good engine that could actually accomplish things, because you're given a load of free actions that are available to you at any point in time. The problem with the free actions is they're very costly. Mm-hmm. The free actions cost a lot of money. The free actions cost you to discard or swap out resources. So you're generating all these things, and then if you need to, which you have to take those free actions, when you take those free actions, you're spending all the things that you just worked so hard to get.
But when you take those free actions, those costly things, they feel good.
They really do.
They enable you. I never felt stuck.
Yeah.
Aside from when I ran out of cards in hand, and I knew exactly how I ended up there. I knew that was because, I was reckless with action selection. I should have been purchasing cards, or I should have been managing things a little bit better. So I think that even though free actions, they are costly, so free, sure, but everything has its cost, everything has its trade-off, and I love the way that this game presented that.
Absolutely. So you've got a couple different tracks on the board that you're going up, and it actually, one thing that I really enjoyed is at the end of the game, roads and cookie rabbits and houses, your little buildings, all of these things are worth a number of victory points. Mm-hmm. But depending on how you invest in that area depends on how many victory points you're getting for each one. So are you getting a 2-to-1 ratio, or are you getting a 1-to-1 ratio, mm-hmm. or a 1-to-2 ratio? You have to invest in the different areas, the mines, the wheat, and the forest. You have to invest in all those areas in order to really boost the end game scoring for mm-hmm. your kingdom. So this is, in essence, a worker placement game. But what's interesting about this is no one at the table has workers to place.
Correct.
Your cards are essentially the way that you start with 6 cards. You're holding one over from round to round, mm-hmm. And then you're getting 5 new cards. So you're getting 6 cards unless you trigger some bonuses, which would allow you to get an additional card. And when you get rid of one of these cards, you're able to use a token from the supply to put it out on one of these action places. Mm-hmm. I really like that. I have not. I love viticulture. I love a lot of worker placement games where you have a set number of workers, or you're increasing your number of workers as you get stronger. This was unique because you don't have your own set. You're vying for the same locations, but you really have an endless supply of workers if you can get your cards in that position.
Yeah. And one of the things that this did quite well, in addition to that unique approach, is it's the kind of game where I can't say I have 5 workers, I'm going to pay attention to my 5 workers and go forward. I had to mind, where did you place? Yep. Where would you place? Whatever number of tokens or actions I intend to place. But it also made me think about timing in a big way. It's not just who got there first. It's what's Ryan going to do next? What can I get away with? Because you're choosing, am I going to do one of these worker placements? Or am I going to automate? Or am I going to use one of these little freebie tokens here, flip tokens. Of course, I chose one that doesn't flip, but flip tokens, which can also lead to round over round resource generation.
Yeah.
So you can make it where each round you're going to get 8 gold coins, or you're going to get a diamond, whatever kind of currency you make use of to advance your board.
Yeah.
Do I do that early? Do I do that after Ryan has already gotten himself stuck? When do I do it? Maybe I need the money to make a power play to enable me to go where I want to go.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, you're focused on a map, you're focused on a track, you're focused on your economy, you're focused on the worker placement spots, you're focused on your end game values as you're going to calculate all of these different things. And after one game, I don't know what the best route is, but I want to keep going back to it because I want to find it out. You know, I really, really enjoyed Sweet Lands a lot.
Which, let me also go down this path. Replayability.
Yeah.
Characters.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there are so many different characters. Each person plays as a unique character. Yep. Unique start, unique round over round resource generation at the start.
That's right.
We can go through and increase that through our various actions, but each character has an ability. Ryan was able to flip over a token once for free every round without having to build a road connecting to it, and he got the benefit. That was really, really good for him if he wants to expand his kingdom and get something really robust, but he knows he's not going to connect everything.
Yeah.
My character was one who I said, what's the lowest of my progress tracks? Or I forget the correct term for the name, one of my progress tracks that leads to that scoring Ryan was talking about to get those better payouts or those better ratios on my scoring. It says, what's your lowest one? Advance that one 2 spaces.
Yeah.
However you choose. That was really interesting. And we can enhance those abilities by meeting certain character-specific objectives. And I saw, goodness, there's at least 16, if not more characters.
14 characters.
Is it 14?
Yeah, it's 14
All right.
characters.
So at least 14 characters.
Yeah.
With, I think, more potential listed on the Kickstarter, depending on how this proceeds.
Yeah.
Replayability is the name of the game.
Yeah.
We're always going to learn something new. And once I have something figured out, let me try a different character.
That's right.
See how they play.
That's right. Sweet Lands components. This is a prototype. All of the B-roll that you're seeing here is just prototype components. I am very impressed with the prototype that came through. I'm very impressed with the gameplay. I'm very excited to see where this goes because Sweet Lands, when you look at the cover of this, it does not look like a heavy Euro that's going to take you 3 hours to play. But it absolutely is. It's a little brain burning. It's very cute. And I think that this is a game that if you have that person who is, I don't know if I like the theme of Euros, but would like this theme, this is a way to get them into some of those more strategic games. So.
Yep. Even if they're having a challenging time, they're at least looking at something aesthetically pleasing. Absolutely.
So, very cool. So, Sweet Lands, this is our impromptu preview after one game. We really dig it. This is a campaign that you absolutely need to check out. This is on Kickstarter through November 27th. Check out that Kickstarter. Be sure to check it out. Tell them One Board Family sent you. And Sweet Lands is the name of the game. Hopefully you get a chance to play this one. I'm very excited to sit down and play again, try different strategies, try a different player character. And now we got to clean all this stuff up.
Yeah, clean up is the one thing we can't talk about, but surely it won't be too bad.
We got a lot of baggies.
A lot of baggies.
Yeah, that's
a lot
right.
of baggies.
So thanks. Until next time, we'll see you
at the table.